Welcome to OU Insider's newest series, Cooking with Grillboy, with me, Travis Davidson, where each week we're going to cook a new item that pairs with our opponent for that weekend. So, make these for your tailgate, make these for your watch party. We know both of those things are going to be much bigger this year with our first year in the SEC. So, naturally, week one, we've got the Temple Owls. I had no choice but to smoke an entire owl. I'm just kidding. I think that's illegal. If you've had owl before, let me know how it is in the comments. But Temple is located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so Philly cheesesteaks are what you got to go with, right? Well, we did an egg roll version of that. So we've got Philly cheesesteak egg rolls today. I'm going to walk you step by step on how to make that. We're making them in the air fryer. And yeah, this will be served at your next party or anytime throughout the season. So one thing I need from you all in the comments, first of all, like and subscribe if you haven't already. But what would you guys like to see me cook for the Houston game next week? Open to all suggestions, and I'll pick from the comments. Appreciate you guys. Let's get on to the video. All right, time to get going. Let's prepare our ingredients here on our cutting board. Now, we'll start to go through them. Egg roll wrappers. Got to start with the egg roll wrappers. I got these at my local grocery store, but they don't sponsor this video, so I am not going to name drop them, but you can find them at different Asian markets or really any grocery store. Next, we go to our pepper jack cheese. Now, those of you that follow me on Twitter know that I am very, very vocal about shredding your own cheese. Do not buy pre-shredded cheese. It's got anti-caking agents which make it really greasy when it melts. You don't want any of that. Just shred your own cheese. It's better every time. Next, we've got our provolone cheese. Now this, we're going to slice in half and we're going to put it on the inside of our egg roll to start our egg roll wrapping process. Next, you've got a white onion. Use white onion, not red. We'll cook these down. And then this bowl right here, it's got house seasoning in it. So house seasoning, that's not a brand or anything like that. That is something that I keep at my house. Salt, pepper, and garlic powder, something simple, and I just put that on everything. Now, you can season vegetables with this, season meat with it. We're gonna season our steak with it, and we're gonna season our onions with it. But just make something simple like this and keep it around the house. There's a reason every restaurant does this. So next, we've got our banana peppers. So this might annoy some of our Philly purists, but my thinking process and what we've done in my restaurants before is banana peppers bring the acidity. That's got fat, that's got fat, that's got fat. So don't introduce more fat to the equation. You've already got two cheeses and a fatty cut of meat. So the banana pepper will bring some spice, sure, but some acidity as well that's going to help cut through that fat. I pickled these myself. I can teach you how to do that, or maybe that's a bi-week episode, but definitely the way to go. We're going to slice these thin. We're going to add these in with our onions later before we start rolling. Next is our steak. Now this is what's called a sirloin cap. It's also known as the rump cap or the rump cover. It's a bit more tender and flavorful than top sirloin. It's known for strong beef flavor. You may have had it if you've gone to a Brazilian steakhouse at any time. They call it picanha, and it's super popular. They take the entire thing, they cook it down, and they come to your table and slice it. So highly recommend that. Stay away from like your bottom round and your London broil and things like that for this particular recipe. Next, put your steak in the freezer for 30 minutes so you can cut it thinly. And then you want to make sure and tuck the fingers while you're cutting those onions and peppers, or else fingertips will be in the recipe. Again, grate your cheese, people. Come on now. Now you throw in a little bit of neutral oil in a pan, add your steak, and spread that out evenly. I have seasoned this with the house seasoning, by the way. Let that steak brown. Don't move it around a bunch. Just let it brown. Let it get some of that good color. As you can see here, we've seared it nicely, and we're gonna move on to the vegetables. So take your tongs, put the steak on a lined paper toweled plate, but leave the oil in the pan. We don't want to just dump this. Leave the oil in the pan. Because next we're going to throw those onions in. We're going to throw some of the seasoning on top of it and then saute that nicely. We're going to reduce that down, and the onions go in first because they have a lot of moisture and they need to cook down and shrink. The peppers don't do that. So you want to add those in later to incorporate them within the onions, and you'll see how reduced they get. Right here, look how reduced they are. This is why it's a Philly cheesesteak egg roll, not a onion egg roll. So you're gonna put the contents into the bowl. You're gonna set that pan to the side. Add your steak from your lined plate, and then add your pepper jack cheese and give that a mix. Finally, to the rolling station. We've got an egg right here. Now, we need this to bind the egg roll wrappers. So, crack an egg, and you can either use a whisk or I use a fork. But you're gonna give this a quick beat for your egg wash. Next, you've got your egg roll wrapper, and your provolone cheese. So, your filling's right here, and it's time to get going. Grab a egg roll wrapper. Make sure it's one, because they tend to stick. So make sure it's one. Now you're going to take your egg wash. And I am using my finger here, but you're going to get all 4 sides of that egg roll wrapper. And you can use a pastry brush here if you'd like. Doesn't matter either way. Just make sure you get it nicely spread on those edges. That's what's going to help that stick. Put your provolone on 1/2 because you need the rest of that egg roll to work with. Grab your filling, put a spoonful of it on top of your cheese. Make sure you get some steak, make sure you get everything. And now you're gonna fold it as if you're constructing an envelope. So put the bottom point up and then start folding. I start right, then go left, see a piece of steak trying to creep out right there. And then you get it folded over, keeping everything in, and then just one final push with one hand, boom, there you go. It's all ready to go. So now repeat this process until you are completely out of filling. Should make, I don't know, I think this batch made about 20 of these things. So you're gonna grease your air fry pan, or you're gonna put a liner in it, but you're gonna wanna grease it and then spray with some cooking spray over the top of the egg rolls. Air frying at 400 for 10 minutes and flipping at 5 minutes. So you should use tongs here, but I've been in the restaurant industry a long time and can't feel my fingertips anymore. So I just went ahead and flipped these with my hands. And you're gonna wanna respray these. Obviously you wanna spray both, even though I missed with that second spray there. But you're gonna put these back in and they're gonna go for that other 5 minutes. So these are finally done. And we're going to take them out, put them on these cutting boards using tongs this time, and we're going to cut these on a bias. They just look better. All right, University Tradition, shout out for the hat. Shop Double Team, shout out for the shirt. Here goes nothing. Turned out great. Now let's go beat Temple.